Okay, are we started? Is everybody
You are
on?
on. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Q&A hosted by Tony this morning. Yay! Lucky you! Lucky
Thank
you!
you.
Everybody
Which,
give a thumbs up. Give him a wave or something. Woo!
okay, so um, Kelly, do we have any questions from anybody yet?
You are good. I will hop in when you got him.
Okay, so basically, we're going to talk about database. So first thing I'd like to do is everybody in the chat, put down what your number one source of business is, except if it's a database, don't put anything in because I already know that. So if you have something other than database as your number one source of business, put it in the chat. Okay. So we got
I'll
two.
read it out. Lots of open house,
Okay.
SEO, relationships,
Okay.
conferences.
Relationships is database. SEO is database. Agent referrals is database. So if you really look at, for most people, the core of your business is database. And so as we look at a database, I'd like to give you some statistics that are going to shock you and excite you. I just got these from Mike Ferry a couple days ago. The number of the percentage of realtors in the National Association of Realtors that have done no sales so far this year. Would anybody like to put in a chat what you think that number is? One person got it right so far. Most of you are in the right category. 84% did no transactions. 13% did 4 or less transactions. So that means there's going to be around 4.1 to 4.2 million sales. That's 8.2, 8.4 to 8.6 million sides being done by 3% of the realtors. What does that mean for everybody on this call? What does that mean for everybody on this call? Put it in the
What
chat.
what percentage of those units do you control?
Right. Or, yep. So what percentage of that do you control? So that means if you have a goal to do a certain number of transactions, what's keeping you from hitting that goal? Your competition or yourself?
Most of us, it's ourselves.
Yeah. So here's the thing, you have no competition. Today is the 20th of July. We have 10 days left in July. We have basically 163 days left in the year. We have 115 work days left in the year. So right now, if we look at what's available to us with no competition around us except ourselves, the thing of it is, all we got to do is spend time in our database to make things happen. And here's another challenge we have to look at for our database. If you've got a database of people, does somebody have a database including some of your people?
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, all we have to figure out is what we're going to do for the rest of this year. And I'd like, even when we get on our call on the 23rd, I want us to start thinking, what are we going to do between now and December 31st, 2027? So as we look at this, this is a good time of the year to be challenging ourselves. If you've been around real estate for a while, here's a couple of things that I did with my coaching clients to challenge them. And I'm going to do the same thing this morning. So as I challenged my coaching clients, I just asked a question. What would you have to do in the next 90 days to have a major change in your business? His answer was, take a listing a day. So I'll ask you, would a listing a day alter your business substantially? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Yep, there's no doubt. It'll grow your business. Well, it became a thing in the company that a whole bunch of people started doing 90 listings in 90 days. The best I heard of was 120 listings in 120 days. Things can be done that we don't think are possible. One week on my coaching calls, I asked all my clients, what would it be like to take 100 listings in a month? You know, we take 1 or 2 or 5 or 20. Why don't we just go take 100 a month? Well, that became a big deal. And then anybody who knows who Laura Gillot is, she's in a town of 18,000 people. Twice she's taken 100 and 102 listings in a month. Well, 18,000, why don't we just have a database of 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 people? We can start doing 100 listings a month. So I think one thing I'd like to look at today is all of us have activities that create people to put into our database. So what do you think the number one thing we have to do with our database to get more business from our database? What's the biggest thing we have to do with our database to get more business out of it? Put it in the chat.
Engage with it.
We have to engage with it. What does that mean?
That means that you have to make a concerted effort to reach out to them on a consistent basis.
Okay, one, we have to be touching base with them consistently. Put the minimum number of touches you should be doing with your database in the chat. Right. So, yep. So I've seen up to 140. The minimum in talking to people that really are working and getting great results from their database, the minimum's got to be 60 times a year. So there's 12 months in a year. How many times do we have to touch them a month? We have to touch them 5 times a month. That's more than once a week. What's the second thing we need to do with our database on a regular basis?
Packaging positioning. So communicating enough so that way when they do have a need, they think of you. So you're searchable.
Okay, that's a good idea. What's the second most important thing we need to do with our database?
You have to
Prune it.
What did you say, Gina?
you have to provide value, because if you
You have
just
to-
communicate and
You have
no
to-
value, they're going to walk away.
You have to have value. What's the second most important thing we need to do with our database?
Grow it.
Questions.
Grow it.
Say goals still important.
Grow it. Grow it. Grow it. Grow it. Grow it. Your competition. Do you know why your people in your competition are in your competition's database? Because their database is 25,000 people, 50,000 people, 100,000 people, 200,000 people. The biggest database I've heard of, 325,000 people. And your brain is going, oh, I just can't touch that many people. With what tool can we touch that many people? Technology. Technology gives us the ability to do what? Touch 325,000 people 10 times a month. So we've got to be big and we got to touch a lot.
So how can we be strategic about exponentially growing our database if we're looking to add to, to get to these 5,000 numbers? What's a lead magnet or
Okay. So a lot of people wrote down open houses. So if you do a level 5 open house, what do you do? Level 5 open house, what's the last step? What's step 5 of a level 5 open house?
You make it an event
You make it an event.
and you
Oh,
invite
wow.
your neighbors.
You invite the
call.
neighbors.
hmm
Here's an interesting thing. I'm working with a group of market centers in Keller Williams. Here's what we're learning. Guess where people are getting leads from? The knocking and inviting the people or at the open house?
Knocking and inviting.
Knocking and inviting. One guy did his first open house. Nobody showed up. He ended up with 3 leads and a closing from the door knocking, inviting him to the open house. And he never said anything about real estate. He just invited them to the open house. What we're finding is people are getting more leads off the door knocking than they are off the open house. Unless you got a big database like the Burns in California, they average 200 an open house. They do 3 open houses in 7 days. They average 200 people. They also invite 15,000 people in their database. They do what they call twilights. Why are we doing open houses during the week? To get more people to put into our database. Are we knocking 200 doors? Anybody remember probably 8 months ago, the lady from Toronto? She knocked 1,400 doors and had 200 people show up to her open house. How do you get more people? How do you add more people to your database? Circle prospect and find people to add to your database. Do open houses, knock doors, and add people to your database. Start a geographic farm, treat it like a database, touch them 60 times a year, and within a year, they will be what? Not a geographic farm, they'll be a what?
artists?
Part of your database. You just added 1,000 people. Buy a lead, and what do you get when you buy a lead?
Contact information,
To do what?
follow up.
Follow up and nurture. Here's the thing. A farm is the same thing. If you touched them 60 times a year and nurtured them, you'd get them for free and they would be part of your database. And all you need to do is knock it, do open houses, do pop-bys, do video emails, do all these social media things with them, do insights with them, and before you know it, there'll be a database for you, a permanent database. So here's the thing I want to talk about. And then you can start asking questions. I want to ask you to look at this. How many of you between now and December 31st of 27, well, first of all, let's look at this. We got all those days. So when Gary says you start looking at your calendar, what's the first thing you do when you're putting together your calendar for whatever period of time you're doing that for? What do you do first?
Set your
Block
Put your
holiday.
vacation on it.
Vacation.
Take all your vacation time out of it. Take it out. Live by it. And what does he say? When you're on vacation or when you're not working, you're what?
On vacation and not working.
Not working. And when you're home, what are you not doing?
You're not on vacation.
You're not thinking about work. When you're gone, you're gone. When you're there, you work. So taking that into consideration, how many of you would commit on the days left over you're going to work? And I would, also, days off for kids events and things like that. There's going to be that, baseball tournaments, just staycations, days off, whatever's left. How many of you would commit to grow and touch your database at least an hour a day? Raise your hand. How many would commit to 2 hours a day? 3 hours a day? 4 hours a day? 5 hours a day? This is up to you to decide. Nothing's going to happen to your database unless you do something with it. They're not going to call you. They're not going to call you. What kind of a database do we want to build in today's world? We want to build a referral database rather than a repeat business database. Somebody either put in the chat or tell me what kind of a database should we be building in today's world? And why? Okay, so we don't want a repeat and referral business database because people do what?
They move out of state.
They, in the old days, they used to move every 3 to 5 years. Do you know how often they move now? Every 7 to 11 years. And you got 300 people in your database that are going to move in every 7 to 11 years. How much repeat business is in that database of 300 people? Pretty dang close to zero. So you're building a referral database. You are teaching them how to give you referrals. And the worst thing you could teach them is sending them cards and tell them to do what?
Refer me.
Yeah, give it to somebody and have, when you hear somebody thinking of selling, just give them my card and have them call me. How many people are going to call you? None. None. I sold real estate for 25 years. I don't think I ever person said, I got a card from your friend Mary Jones and I'm going to be selling my house. One of the things that we don't do a really good job of, and I was one of them until somebody taught me how to work databases, is you have to teach them how to give you a referral. You have to teach them how to give you a referral. And you have to teach them once or twice a year. So anybody know how you could grow your database by 50 to 60% in the next 3 seconds? Give me one idea.
Vendor partners.
Pardon?
Vendor partners,
Vendor partners.
allied resources,
Allied resources is one. What's another?
Make a video.
Call both spouses. People in the world today have each family has 3 databases. What are the 3 databases? His,
ours,
Yours,
His-
mine, and ours.
his, hers, and theirs.
theirs.
Hers is related to the what? Most likely.
Kids,
Related to the
kids.
kids and the kids' activities. His is related to work, golf, etc. Theirs is a combination of both and people that they just have relationships with. I had a guy I coached, he was in Western Chicago, drove by a house, saw a for sale sign that he had sold to the people 5 years earlier. He had called them every 90 days for 5 years. So that's 4 times a year for 5 years. He called them 20 times, taught them how to give them referrals, only talked to the wife every time because she was home. Called up at night asking about the sign. Who answered the phone? The husband. What did the husband tell him? What did the husband say to him when he asked him, why did you list with another realtor?
Got your name and contact info.
You never contacted me. I talked to your wife every 90 days. Well, you didn't call me. So that's when we figured out, that was probably 20 years ago, figured out that in the world of today, spouses aren't going, oh, you know, after dinner, let's just sit down and talk about Bill. And he called me today and he needs some referrals. Let's just maybe take a half hour and see if we can find any people for Bill to talk about or send to. They got so many things going on. You're the last thing on their mind. So how to add to your database? Call husband and wives. Another one is allied resources. Allied resources are good for 3 to 5 referrals a year. Go through your database. I had 2 people that gave me 8 to 10 closings a year. Look for people that know a lot of people. One was a husband and wife. They were both teachers in the Boulder Valley School District for 30 years. How many people did they teach? 1.5 generations. Boulder's a town of 85,000 people, still is. It's surrounded by open space, so it can never be bigger than 85,000 people. They gave me 8 to 10 referrals a year. Why? Because they knew everybody. They were school teachers for 30 years. The other guy was an investor. And I sold the for sale by owner with him. I was like the 5th one to get the listing. And I was the first one to sell it. So he just told every friend he liked me. I made a relationship with him. He gave me 8 to 10 closings a year. He loved
Tony,
Go ahead.
sorry. There's a great question in the chat of how is teaching them to give a referral different
Okay.
from asking for a referral?
So, who asked the question? Does it say?
Chase.
Chase. Okay. So Chase, let's role play that.
Okay.
So, Chase, one of the things I like to do is talk to you about giving referrals. So, if your neighbor was selling your house, would you feel comfortable referring them to me to help them sell their house?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So here's what I'd like you to do. The second you hear about them thinking about selling, could you do me a favor? Run to the phone, pick it up, call me with their name and number. Would that be okay?
Yes, absolutely.
Great. So the second you hear of somebody thinking of buying or selling, what are you going to do?
Give you a call.
Yeah, so you're going to run to the phone and give me a call with
I'm
their
gonna run
name
to the
and
phone and
number.
give you a call. Yeah.
Great. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's great. That's
Perfect.
pretty.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. And I
Mhm.
just want to thank you for being a partner in my business and helping me get sales and help people have a real estate experience like you had with me. Now, when you do that, what do you have to do with your business?
Answer the phone.
What do you have to do with your business? What did I say to her?
Make it a quality experience.
That you had so I can give it to them.
Mhm.
Therefore, I have to run my business on models and systems because Chase is going to tell them a couple things they liked about me. And if I don't run my business the same on every transaction, and I did that for Chase and I didn't do it for those people, will I get a referral from them?
No.
Nope. So you really need to have a business that functions the same for every person. And if they don't, you're going to lose some of those referrals. It's got to be a powerful experience. You had one, Chase. The next person has to have one so that they will refer people to me. The next one, I had 1,100 people. This is how dumb I was. I had 1,100 people in my database that gave me 100 closings a year. So that was a 10% return on my database. And I wanted to go to 200, so I did FISBOs and other things and other things and other things. What I never figured out was all I need to do is double my database. But 1,100 gave me 100, 2,200 would give me 200, 3,300 would give me 300. How many millions of dollars did I lose? Because nobody told me just go build a bigger database. We didn't do things like that 50 years ago. But here's an interesting thing. I just listened to a podcast and the gentleman said, I sell every day and I know exactly what you have to be doing. Here's the 5 most important things to do in real estate right now to find business. 1, build a database. Well, 1975, when I got my license, the first thing they told me to do was get all my friends together and start talking to them. Back in those days, how many's been in real estate 30 years or more? Just raise your hand or put it in the chat. Back in those days, here was the model. Here's your desk, here's your phone, you're on your own. So you had to go figure it out yourselves. The second thing they told me to do, and he said, that's the thing you have to do today, is open houses. The third thing he said you had to do was farm. 50 years ago, that was the third thing we had to do was farm. Then the fourth thing is expires. The fifth thing is our FISBOs. That was 50 years ago. So how to be successful in real estate in 1975 is exactly the same 5 things in exactly the same order in 2026, 51 years later. All those other things you're doing add people to what? your database. You do open houses, you add people to your database. You do farming, you add people to your database. Whatever you do, you keep adding people to your database. So pick the number of hours you're going to commit to for the next 17 months. How many hours a day are you going to work on your database? And that means you're going to be doing other things to be adding to it. So you're going to do open houses, and I'm going to add to my database. I'm going to do circle prospecting to add to my database. I'm going to do farming to add to my database. I'm going to work expires to add to my database. I'm going to work FSBOs to add to my database. Everything you do adds to your database. I'm going to get really good at conversations with my database. I'm going to get really good at making video emails with my database. And this is what we're going to do on the 23rd. We're going to go deeper on this stuff. But everything is to make your database bigger. And, we've been talking about doing conversations rather than just phone calls. What if you're on the phone an hour a day or 2 hours a day with your database, and you grew your database and you had real conversations with them? What's a conversation you would have? How many of you get questions from your buyers and sellers? Okay. If you get a question, do you answer it? Yes. If it's a question that they asked you about something pertaining to a buyer, who should know about that? Who should that question be answered to? Every buyer in your database, which would be every person, because everybody's a potential buyer in your database or knows a potential buyer in your database. So all the questions you get asked during your day, just answer it to your database in a video email. What questions should they be asking you? Answer that one in a video email. Insights, we think everybody knows everything about their neighborhood. They don't. Do insights. Do it through video email. Every time you do a video email, they do what? They see you. They hear you. They learn your voice. So by the 23rd, here's what I'd like to do, since you'll have a head start on some of the people that are on that call that aren't on this call. Write down how many hours a day you will commit to working to grow your database by doing lead generation activities every day you work. 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, I don't care what it is. I want it to be committed. And how are you going to commit it? We'll talk more about that on call on the 23rd, because one of the things we're going to talk about is do an allocation plan. If you don't know what that is, ask your team leader. But everybody should have an allocation plan, because if you don't know why you're making the money, will you make the money? Nope. Most people fail in sales because they don't have the motivation to do the sales. There's nothing driving them to put the money in their pocket or give it away or whatever. So we'll talk more about that on the 23rd. Give me a couple ahas and I'll let you go because it's after 9 o'clock. Give me two ahas.
Every household has 3 databases, mine, ours, and theirs.
Right? Husband, wife, and their database. One more.
Make
That
sure you
all
talk to
the
both.
other lead gen activities just feed
What?
into the database.
Right. Great. Right. There is no competition. That's true. And here's the good thing. You're only 90 days away from most realtors quitting work. Halloween is the #1 day for realtors to start taking off for the rest of the year. And those of you who've been around, Ronnie, is that true or not?
Ab- Absolutely.
Yep,
Absolutely.
right. Yep. The business goes down by 20% and the realtors disappear about by 40 or 50%. So you
That's
got,
opportunity.
yeah. November and December are times that we have a great opportunity. And that's why I want you to commit to that now. Because every one of your businesses will grow beyond your beliefs if you took that 2 or 3 hours a day, did activities that would help you grow your database, and then you stay in touch with that database and have conversations with them. You will do things like 90 listings in 90 days. 100, you'll have a team that can do 100 listings a month. Everything is possible because it's already been done. Okay, I love you guys. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great week. And I'll talk to you on the 23rd, just a few days away. Thank you. Bye-bye.
You, great.